Show play for black feet.
Can we bring in random people from the street to answer our questions for us?
Yeah.
Would you fancy it? We got a question.
Right, you're only doing a mini tour over here.
This is not a mini tour.
Why? Why is it so small?
It's not small. It's a full.
You're only doing 3 in the UK.
It's a big boy tour.
No, really though. Why?
3 in the UK. Actually, we actually did 5 dates in the UK.
Oh. Fair
Would you
enough.
call that small?
It's quite small.
That's not, you know, we did 5 dates in the UK, but we also did 5 dates in Germany.
Oh.
And then we're going to do 4 dates in France.
We did 2 days in Czech Republic. What do you think of that?
Yeah, Czech
How
only got,
was Czech
Czech only got 2 days. It was amazing. It's always amazing in Czech.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you're here with Psychroptic and Lengchain.
This is true.
Psychroptic,
Are they fun?
They're very fun.
How's the whole thing been going with
Oh, it's going great. I mean, it's where's that vomit pile at, by the way?
Over there. Get a close-up of that vomit pile real quick. That should be the introduction to this video. And now,
it's a great tour. There's no egos except for mine. There's no egos. Everybody gets along really easily. We've had some bizarre problems. We've had some injuries. We've had some bus-related shit happen, but so far it's been a lot of fun. You know, the guys at Psychroptic, they're real fun. They're really mellow. They go to bed early. It seems. Yeah. Of course, they get up on stage and it shows in their playing that they've been sleeping and going to bed early and all that stuff. That's at least, you know, the Haley brothers. They're real. But you know, they run the band too, so you know they're keeping a solid ship. But guys in Longstreth, maniacs, a lot of fun. You know, it's great.
So what's been the best and worst parts so far? You said quite bizarre situations, but
the best and worst parts. What's the best part? I mean, the worst. Oh, losing the Sweden shows. That was bad. I rolled my ankle at the very beginning of the tour, so I couldn't walk for like 5 or 6 days. Luckily, I could still play on that. And then Lorenzo, who was doing sound for Langshay, he broke his foot. So he is still in a hospital in Germany.
oh, right.
Poor guy doesn't speak any German or any English, so he only speaks Italian, so he's in this hospital. He can't really communicate with people. He said they had to wait for the swelling to go down before they could operate. So those are, you know, amongst some of the worst things that happened. Blew a tire on the bus the other day, which was real fun. Best things? Just playing good shows that go off well. That's the best things.
Best things? It's been all good.
We don't really have any crazy stories. I mean,
we're honorary members of the Slovakian Mafia.
we are.
This is true.
Yes.
Because of this tour.
We're gonna get killed.
Long
for saying
story,
this
and
on
we've been
camera.
saying it, but I don't think the reach extends that far, so it might be okay. But they'll be cool. They'll be cool about it. They'll probably high five each other. I think it's fantastic.
We ran into a McDonald's, and they got out, and they were all kind of chest puffy, and we were kind of like, oh no. And then after a while, it turned into a big hugging and picture taking session. And from what we got out of it, these guys were part of some Slovakian gang.
We may or may not have purchased crates of AK-47s. May or may not have.
I didn't see any bloodhound tattoos on them either, so that's a good thing.
We did not check out early.
I hear that, I don't know if this is true, but you guys are quite distant in locations when you're not on tour.
Yes.
So does that mean that you have quite a different dynamic to a lot of other bands when you are on tour, do you think?
Well, I don't think people living in other parts of the country and being in a band is that uncommon at all. Look at Iron Maiden. The drummer lives in Texas.
Yeah.
You know.
Drummer lives in Texas.
Yeah. No, Paul lives in San Francisco. Jason and I live in New York. Jason's from New York. Mike lives in Kansas. And you know, we originally all started in Kansas, except for this guy. And you know what it really allows us to do is just, I mean, we're like the three of us, the original three of us. You know, for the most part, me, Paul, Mike, and myself. We're kind of weird, volatile, temperamental dudes anyway. So it's a good thing for us to be apart. So then when we actually do get back together, it's more about, hey, how have you been? How's things? Great, let's jam. It's awesome. You know.
Yeah.
Whereas in the old days, when we were actually much younger and a lot less mature, we kind of did some bickering then. So I don't know. If we all lived in the same place nowadays, I'm sure it would be different.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of gives us sort of an overcompensating work ethic because we don't really get to hang out so much.
Yeah.
So when we do get to work together, it's very It's pretty tight knit. It's cool.
So I mean, especially around the Entity area, you had quite a few vocal changes, and before that, how do you feel nowadays? I know that's an obvious question, but you always got to check that everything's alright in camp. So
It was a pain in the ass to go through. I'm glad we went through it. Well, hopefully we don't got to go through it again. It pushed us. It made us write a really good record, I think. And you know, it gave Paul and Mike a new experience. I mean, Paul basically got to call himself the vocalist for the whole record. You know, Mike and Paul. You know, so that's a really good experience for them. And
so many police.
it's probably not even that badly hurt. However,
All this glassing going on.
Stop
blasting each
Stop
other.
blasting. So, yeah, I mean, in the end, as irritating as it was to go through it, obviously yielded positive results. And
Yeah, get that bus. That's a double-decker full of bad news. It's the Slovakian mafia. They're coming to hang out for the show.
next question, please.
Okay. NC was said to have a lot of progression as a whole, not just in the vocals. You know, you had the more old school feel to Antithesis. So do you feel that that's the sort of sound that you're going to want to go for in the future, or do you feel that you're going to progress further?
Well, you know, getting back to all of us living in different parts of the country, that has a lot to do with what drives, you know, progression and all that. You know, like, Paul's definitely more isolated because he lives the furthest west, and then Jason and I were in New York together, and then, you know, I'm back and forth pretty common between New York and Kansas because my family. So yeah, you know, Paul's out there and he just happens to write a grindcore song. He goes, I don't know about this, but what do you think? And we're just like, wow, that's amazing. So we got a grindcore song now.
Yeah.
So I think it's being away from each other allows us to, you know, spend time apart and come back with new ideas and just see what ideas work, you know, and some do, some don't. I think I forgot the question.
Don't worry, that's fine, that's a good answer. With technical death metal being so complex, and obviously you guys are quite a technical band, do you feel that within that scene there's a lot of competition as to who can be the most, you know, widdly and confusing and mind-boggling?
We wouldn't know because we are the most widdly and confusing and mind-boggling.
Well, yeah, there is. There's a lot of those bands that really want to be widdly and boggling and widdly and confusing and mind-boggling. Mind-confusing and whittle-boggling. But you know, a lot of those whittle-boggling bands, you know, there's those younger kid bands that come out of nowhere. You know, with the bands with like I don't know, the names of these bands are, you know, Another Day Older for Dying Inside or something like, I don't know. Funny name bands. The Sky Burns Red in Egypt during August.
Yesterday's the day before today.
Yesterday's the day before today. Yesterday has Christmas Day. You know, I don't know.
Well, 25th of December is Christmas. That's going to be my next band day.
Those guys seem to be pushing the technicality thing a lot more because I think a lot of those people are still young in their craft. And that's what they know how to do, is like be technically proficient. They might not quite have their songwriting chops down yet. So I think we're almost working backwards at this point in time. Because yeah, when we were young, the idea was to cram as many notes as possible.
Yeah.
And you know, if we could get this to turn around weirdly and like maybe people go, wait a minute. Nowadays, we want to see much more headbanging and much more crowd participation. So nowadays we're a lot about just making sure that the song makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna record the Black Album, but yeah, I think it's important as you get older, you really start understanding things that naturally will take you a while to understand.
Cool.
You know, I mean, you
Yeah.
can learn all the tricks on a guitar really quickly, but you can't really learn how to write a good song because you don't have that experience at that point in time. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Or do I sound pompous?
No, but to be fair, my question didn't really make sense because half the words were made up anyway, so it doesn't matter. Widdly.
I'll just start
There
answering
you
your
go.
questions with random answers.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
This is Serge from Longstreth.
Sorry.
And he's wearing an Origin
Serge,
shirt.
answer these
Hey.
questions for us. Come back here. Answer the next question. Serge,
It's okay,
I'll
Serge.
get 10 minutes before we fucking play.
Huh?
Let's go.
He's gonna get on stage pretty soon.
You filming? Oh, God damn it.
What's the next question?
With all the festival lineups being announced at the moment, what's your dream lineup? 3 bands, go.
Origin. Suffocation.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Psychroptic.
Aborted.
Che. You
What did I say?
bitch.
And now you guys.
Origin, Blue Oyster Cult, and Black Sabbath, but it isn't gonna happen.
Hellfest.
Yeah, Black Sabbath pulled out.
It's Ozzy and friends now.
It's Ozzy and friends. No, it's Sharon and friends.
Sharon and friends.
I hope Sharon Osbourne doesn't fire me from Origin for making comments.
She has the power.
She has the power.
Who would have been the best replacement for Black Sabbath then, in your opinion?
The best replacement for Black Sabbath.
R.I.P. Dio. I mean,
Heaven and Hell.
Sorted. And with festivals, what other gigs and festivals have you got lined up for this year?
We're looking at Hellfest. We're looking at Extreme Fest.
Seeing Extreme.
Seeing Extreme.
A couple more, some that I can't pronounce in German.
Extreme Fest.
Some other fest in German. We have several.
We have a bunch of them, but to tell you the truth, I haven't looked at the emails in a few days because I've been doing the Rockstar thing with the nightliner and the wake up and the play the drums and the drink and go to sleep thing. So I haven't really had much of a chance to pay attention to business. But I know that we have at least, we must have 8 to 12 fests at this point in time. I know we're doing Neurotic Death Fest at the end of this tour in Tilburg.
Nice. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sorry for all the police in London. But then again,
okay.
it kind of makes it sound more brutal, like you're causing the police to come to your interview. So.
Mafia.
On the dirty streets of London,
Yeah, with the vomit.
It's better that we're out here with the vomit and the brick and all that shit and sitting in the tour bus,
Look really cool. Yeah.
Glass of wine and sunglasses.
It is priest. It is better.
It is better like this.
Common.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.